Yes, thank you, Dr. Bora. And of course, we have, Turkey, after the Ottoman Empire, of course, chose to be like a part of the Western world, and was weak and weakened also by, military coups, mostly supported by America and the West, to keep Turkey at bay or under control. But slowly, each time, Turkish people demanded more democracy and more voice in the government. We see, Turkish democracy becoming stronger and stronger, and Turkish people also, as Dr. Akif mentioned, with the coup attempt in 2016 by the Gülenists, Turkish people from all sides, opposition or pro-government, they rejected the military coup. I think this is the biggest achievement, during the AK Party era, to make the civilian rule dominant over military. This is a seldom thing in the Middle East, in the region, and this is a big achievement. I think is going to shape the future of the Turkish politics, and this way Turkey become. I'm also a political sociologist myself. This way, this independence is disliked by America and by the West, our NATO allies, and even a little bit more appreciated by Russia. Russia treated Turkey as an independent ally, an independent country, and America and the West still don't want to see that way. We have Dr. Hakkı Öcal also. He's a political scientist. We want to come to the internal politics later on a little bit. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you, Hocam.
Dr. Hakkı. We have Dr. Burhan Koroğlu also. He's also following the. Let me go to Dr. Burhan. He's on the road. Maybe if he's available to take.
Hello, I'm now.
Yes, I hear you now. Yes. Go ahead, please. Why these elections are important?
Thank you very much. I'm fine. Okay. I just to remind people. Because I think especially if you look at the elections, the most important thing that to explain the young generations about achievements of AK Party within the last 20 years. In the 20 years of successful management, economic development, social reforms, and Turkey's increasing reputation in the world are very important, of course, gains for Turkey. So Turkey was trying to set an example in terms of the relation it has developed, especially with African countries, Turkic republics, and Middle Eastern countries, and in that period. Also, Erdoğan has also pursued an independent policy towards the West. This approach was appreciated by both Islamic world and the third world countries in this period. So these are all successful projects of AK Party. Also, we saw in the last 10 years, Turkey hosted millions of refugees, of course, including Syrians at the first, but there were other refugees from different countries, like from Iraq, from Afghanistan, from some African countries, from some Arabic countries, especially after the Arab Spring. So Turkey was trying to find solutions for those crises in Syria, the problems, occurred through the Arab Spring. These challenges were there, and especially challenges related to, let's say, security issues because of, failed governments in Iraq, in Syria, Iraq, of course, after the American invasion. So all these things we have lived, and we now can say that any government, it was very difficult to stay successful under this kind of circumstances, which is, of course, threatening, as I said, tensions, security tensions, also economic failures. But the success of the AK Party shows us that it's a very, demanding, very, successful government. Of course, we have now the problems, as in any other part of the world, problems related to economic issues, supply changes, and also problems going on. For example, the last one, very close to Turkey on the border, crisis, war between Ukraine and Russia. Even this very bad condition, Turkey has, achieved very successful, agreement about grain problem, and also try to bring those two, countries which are in war on the table to discuss the problems. So I think all these things, shows us that, in the coming elections, I think people who know what happened in the area, also people who can kind of make a kind of comparison between the Turkey before 20 years and Turkey within these 20 years, it will be a challenging issue that I think most of the Turkish people still appreciate what AK Party has done. But of course, young generations, we need to explain them what happened, what probably will happen if any weak government comes to the government here in this position, because there are some opposition parties. They are trying to bring the old system, which has very problematic, diseases. Even, of course, the new system is a very new one, and it needs to be there's need to be some changes in the system. But the idea, idea about the system is a very dynamic, active, decision making, and also good organization. So I think that within the last maybe 3 or 4 months before the elections, it will be duty of AK Party to explain the people, or to just make them remember what happened, and also tell them what would happen if any weak government comes to the power. That's maybe I can just summarize my ideas in this context.
We still have 4 months, and 4 months is very long, especially in Turkish politics. As Dr. Akif mentioned, the Turkish people is very political. That's interesting, because normally we don't see this much political attention, and we have higher participation, turnout rates, etc., in almost all elections. So these elections, I think, will be again a high elections.